Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to Tue Boozeday. I hope you're all doing well. This here, our third Tuesday of November. We're almost to the finish line of this wild 2020, so congrats on making it this far. Welcome back to another episode. I guess we can start calling these episodes. Um, as I like to kick off every week, do share what you're drinking, where you're watching from tonight, and of course, remember to use that hashtag live or hashtag replay, depending how you're watching. And reminder as well, all the comments you leave here in the videos, in the group, all count for points towards the monthly contest. So cheers. I am still sipping water here on my end. I'm still trying to fight out the last of this gout in my toe, which alcohol is a no-go if I want it to completely just go away and leave me in peace as we head into the holiday season. So water for me again here tonight. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Natasha. Hi, Dad. Let's see. Sorry, my comments aren't scrolling here. Okay. Hi, Lori. What I like to do also is just kind of talk about the last week, last weekend. Hi, Cherie. Welcome. If you guys did anything fun this weekend, definitely drop that in the comments now. On our end, somewhat busy. Friday night, Natasha and I, when I say we went out downtown to grab some ice cream. We had original plans to go to Top Golf, but that didn't happen. But we're like, hey, my mom's coming over to watch the kids. We have to get out of the house, take advantage. So we went to Little Man Ice Cream downtown Denver. It's a really cool outdoor ice cream spot. If you're in the area and have never been, I highly recommend it. We've been going there pretty much since we started dating, if I remember. That was Friday night. We even met up with some friends who live downtown. So good to catch up with them. Hi, Jody. Yeah, I know Grandpa had gout. I thank him every day when this flares up. Hi, Licio. Welcome. You're here live for once. I feel like you always miss the video by about, I don't know, 15 minutes it seems. I'm glad to see you on here live though tonight. Welcome. That was our Friday night. Saturday was, let me see. Yes, more yard work. We're still working on our project, moving a whole bunch of big rocks from our backyard to our front yard to put under our pine tree. So we did that. We got all the rocks moved. Now that's all that's left to do is get them actually laid out and set up, and then we'll be done. So we're almost there. We actually worked a little bit on that today after work, possibly tomorrow as well. But I'd imagine we'll be done this weekend if the weather stays nice. So fingers crossed for that. Um, that's funny. On my notes, I wrote yard word rocks, as in moving the rocks, but yard work does not rock. Funny little note there. And then Saturday night, had a little game night. Had my sister-in-law over with her husband and my cousin-in-law and her husband. And we just did we played Cards Against Disney. So if you're familiar with Cards Against Humanity, it was just a Disney version of that, and it was just as raunchy as Cards Against Humanity. So it was a lot of fun. Um, I think Natasha had more fun with it, and her sister and cousin. They're much more into Disney. They understood all the references. I think the only card I won, I played because I didn't understand it, and I knew Natasha might. I'm not very good at games, by the way. We played that, and we played a similar game called What Do You Meme? Same kind of setup. Everyone drops a quote in the pile there's a picture of a meme up, and yeah, you kind of have to play to whose turn it is and try to trick them into picking your card, I suppose. I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not very good. But yeah, that's what we played Saturday, and then Sunday was more just relaxing. Natasha wanted me to mention that she made banana bread because I always ask her, "What do we do this weekend?" Because I never remember. She says, "Well, I made banana bread." I said, "Okay, that's not us," but she says, "Tell them anyway." So she made my grandma's banana bread recipe. She's over there laughing. It's each time she makes it, it's starting to taste like a lot closer to my grandma's, which is really nice. I didn't think I'd ever get to taste that again. But yeah, it's coming along pretty good, I have to say. And then we've actually started a family game night here. And yeah, last night was interesting. We do it every Monday night, and we played a Operation. At least we thought we were going to play Operation. It's not the game I grew up playing, where you have to have the little tweezers and pluck things out of the body, and it beeps if you bump the sides. No, Operation in 2020 is a dog's body, and it has a magnet stylus pen, and then you drop something into the dog's mouth. I think there was like a cell phone, chewed up homework, things dogs eat. And then you have to actually get that object all the way through the dog's intestines and out to poop. And yeah, it makes sounds all along your journey. So it was very interesting. I don't know. It was weird. I guess I'll play it again. I know the kids want to, so I don't really have a choice. But yeah, that is what Operation now is. So good luck if you're ever shopping for Operation. Keep that in mind. Make sure you read the box if you made the mistake, like I probably would have. This game was a gift, but I know if I was shopping for Operation, I probably wouldn't have looked close enough to realize that's what's actually going on inside the box. So yeah, Operation. All right. So yeah, like I said, a pretty busy weekend slash week. This upcoming weekend, I glanced to my calendar. I don't see much going on. I know my grandpa's birthday is Friday. My mother-in-law's birthday is Sunday. But I don't know any plans. Just the way 2020 is. I'm not too sure if anything's going on, what it may be. But yeah, we'll sure to figure that out. So yeah, that's everything I did. I don't see anyone else dropping any fun comments. Let's hear it, guys. I'm sure you did much more fun things than I did. Moving rocks. Sorry, Natasha said I'm cutting out. I don't know if anyone else is having that issue. I don't see anyone saying anything. Check my cell phone, make sure no one's texting me. Is it good? Okay. Well, until anyone else says something, I'm going to just keep going. We'll just say it's Natasha's phone. I don't know. Maybe she should get off my Wi-Fi. But yeah, so my next segment, I like to just kind of chat about pop culture, what's going on, what you're watching, reading, listening to, all that fun stuff. Myself, I am listening to Harry Potter 7, The Deathly Hallows. It froze just like Brent Weeks today. I don't know what that means. I don't get the reference, I should say. I'll have to look that up later. Am I unfrozen though? I'm assuming so. I can still see me. Good. Okay, I'm getting the thumbs up from my media manager over there, so everything's good. So yeah, I'm listening to that final Harry Potter book. Again, just for more reference, for me writing my final book of the Wealth of Time series, really getting a feel for how to close out a big series, how to build up to that big showdown at the end. So that's what it's all about, really. But I must say, I'm highly entertained. I haven't read these books since I was a teenager, I think, and yeah, I'm equally enjoying it and sucked in, just like the first time around. And obviously, the second time you read a book, there's a lot of things you catch that you missed that first time. So definitely enjoying that. Aside from that, we've just still been watching Parks and Rec. We watched the latest episode of Superstore. All right, everyone's saying it froze for a minute, but it's good now. So thank you guys for letting me know. Definitely appreciate that. So yeah, Parks and Rec, Superstore. That's probably going to just still be our routine right now. We also have the NBA draft tomorrow night. If you are into that, I know I am, especially with my Bulls having the number 3 pick. I am very excited for draft night. So that's tomorrow night. Last weekend, I watched the Masters, big golf tournament, if you don't know golf at all. But the Masters is sort of the Super Bowl of golf. And sadly, I had a chance to win $1,400 in my fantasy golf league I'm in. I ended up winning 300, but it was tough just watching my chances fall kind of slowly throughout the weekend, throughout the day on Sunday. But yeah, I still got some money though, and it's going to help me pay off my car here by the end of the year. So I can cheers to that. Looking forward to that moment when I get that paid off. Hi, Shannon. Welcome. Hey, better late than never, right? That's the saying. Welcome to the party, though. So yeah, that's kind of everything I got though going on pop culture wise. I'm trying to think. I know it's not quite December yet. December, there's some goodies coming. Selena, The Stand. I'm looking forward to all those things coming out. But I will remain patient. Shifting focus though, writing wise, what's going on in my world? Obviously, I'm still in the middle of NaNoWriMo. If you're unfamiliar, that is the challenge to write 50,000 words in the month of November. As of today, I am less than 100 words away from 35,000. So I've written at least 2,000 words every single day this month. So whenever I'm done by even this point in the night, which I am today, I consider a huge success. So yeah, I should be hitting that 50,000 next week. My goal is to always try to hit it before Thanksgiving. That way I don't have to worry about writing 2,000 words on Thanksgiving. So it looks like that should be happening if things hold up as they are. And my project, obviously, for Nano has been Wealth of Time 6, which is titled Time of Fate. And it's going well. It's always funny, I find, in Nano. It always kind of sneaks up on me, too. Each year I've done this. Like today I'm going through my outline, kind of referencing where I am in the story. And I'm like, there's no way I'm already to this point of the story. I just started 2 weeks ago. But that's just part of the game, I guess. When you're writing that much that fast, you find yourself kind of approaching. I don't want to say the end, but definitely the 3/4 point or so, much sooner than normal. And a book for me typically is about 3 months to write. So really cramming it all into a month just makes the whole process feel a lot faster. Hi Bernadette, welcome. Glad to have you here, even if you're late. No worries at all. So that's what I've been writing. I've sort of followed away to the back burner for Nano. I didn't mean to. My intent was to write 2,000 words every day of Wealth of Time, and then at least 500 have followed away. But by the time I'm hitting 2,000, it's like my brain is fried, my eyes hurt from staring at the screen all day, and it's like I can't do anymore. So I will be getting back to Followed Away in December. I'll probably be finishing both that and Wealth of Time 6 at the same time, because I don't project 50,000 words will finish Wealth of Time 6. It'll probably come out between 60 to 70, just like the other books have. So there'll still be some work to do in December just to wrap things up. So yeah, that's what I've been writing. Nano is a no editing month for myself. It's all focused on writing. 0 Hour, though, is with my editor, and she has assured me I will be getting it back this month. And we're all set for a probably mid to late January release, just depending how those edits go. And then Snowball, you know how the wait goes for audio. I did get an email today that it's on some retailers, none of the big ones though. I don't share it until it's on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes. Those are kind of the big three for audiobooks. But it is on some of the smaller sites if you shop there, and I think also on libraries if you rent audiobooks from libraries. It should be there as well. So yeah, that's what's going on the Snowball audiobook. And then as far as the Snowball doll, I know I mentioned last week I thought I was going to have it this week. Apparently I misunderstood that email. It's actually, we got notified, I think it was Sunday, that it actually shipped. Apparently the email last week was saying it was going through its final quality check. So I misunderstood. So yeah, it should definitely be here by next week. God willing, there's no delays in the mail. So yeah, hopefully I'll be waving Snowball right here, and maybe he'll sit on my shoulder all December, since December is going to be all about Snowball. That's going to be the book of discussion. So I'm definitely looking forward to sharing that. I've got some questions here. Let me catch up, guys. I'm sorry. Would I consider continuing the Insanity series? Yes, I have actually. I've been slowly brainstorming. Not so much continuing with multiple books, but I do want to. I want to revisit Jeremy our main character in Insanity. Um, my whole thing is trying to figure out kind of when is a good time frame, considering how book three, Replicate, ended. But yes, Marilyn, I do have plans to at least write a follow-up book of sorts, kind of a where are they now. So I'm just toying with some different ideas on how to make that work. I also need to check with an attorney on some certain legal questions, not like for me, but like for story wise to make sure things are realistic. In Jeremy's case there in the series, I just want to make sure I'm not doing anything that's so far fetched that couldn't happen in real life. So yeah, so there, it's definitely on my radar. Not for 2021. I've already planned out my next year. Insanity is not on the calendar. Possibly 2022. I'll look into jumping back into that and tackling that. I need it to cook a little more in my head, I suppose. How can I think at 2,000? I think you mean 2,000 words a day. Well, that's kind of the point, is to not think. Um, at least for me. Normally, I'm writing typically 500 to 1,000 words a day. So Nano is really forcing me to double that. And to double that, like I mentioned, I think it was last week or the week before, it's all about just getting out of your way. Stop the thinking, just let the fingers fly, and then check it later. That's kind of the best approach, I guess. So yeah, so I'd say I don't think at 2,000 words a day. I just let the fingers move and hope it's coming out good. But so far, so good. I like how it's shaping up so far. All right, guys. Well, thank you for those questions. Today's topic of discussion, though, is going to be particular scenes from Keeper of Time, which being the fourth book in the series, there are some serious spoilers. So I can't really deep dive into particulars, I suppose. But yeah, I'll kind of touch on some things. So, Keeper of Time, it opens up with our main character Martin at the beach. He's on an island in the Caribbean, and I'll be discussing that more next week when we talk about setting. But really, he's just, he had to get away from the hustle and bustle. I'm sure we've all been there. I'm sure we're all feeling that by this point in the year. We can't wait. We all can't wait to go get on a beach. I'm sure, right? I know that's one of the first things we're talking about doing. At least going on a cruise somewhere, something. So yeah, that's kind of reflecting of the times, I guess. But Martin gets away just to kind of clear his head, gather his thoughts, see where he wants to take his life after the tragedy that happens to him at the end of book three. So that's kind of the intro to Martin, what he's up to. Obviously, he's going to end up on the run for his life, as is sort of the theme in all the Wealth of Time books. And that's kind of what I'll touch on as far as him. As far as Chris, obviously this book, Keeper of Time, I forgot I brought it here to wave. There's the beach with Martin on the beach. Sorry for the glare on my light. Um, but as far as Chris goes, obviously Keeper of Time is, a big deep dive into his origin story. And really, without going into scenes there, what it all ties back to is Chris carrying out the whole theme of divide and conquer. Obviously, Chris has long been the enemy of the Roadrunners. He wants to take them down, they want to take him down. So it's just this little back and forth war between the two. But what we really find in Keeper of Time is the divide and conquer theme. It's all about kind of inserting that chaos, and that's what Chris is doing. What more can I do to provoke these people, to turn against each other? And this obviously is a very relevant theme, I feel, in today's culture, divide and conquer. But if you flip back through history, it's as old as time. I remember, geez, reading the ancient Romans, the ancient Greeks, divide and conquer. And I remember learning about that in high school class. It's always been present, and it probably always will be. That's, humans have a tendency to want to conquer each other, at least, the evil ones, I suppose. And divide and conquer is the way to go. So that was I guess, rather a theme that's explored in the book of just finding ways to pit people against each other, and that way it's easier to conquer them. United we stand, divided we fall is the saying. So yeah, that's kind of what Chris is playing with in this book, and I can't really go into if that works or not. You'll have to read it if you haven't yet, to find out and see where that whole story leads. So that's what's going on with Chris, sort of in the middle of the book. And then at the end of the book, I'll just kind of touch on the fact that it does end with Martin accepting a nomination to run for the commandership of the Roadrunners. So we all kind of have followed his journey up to this point, and now we get to see him kind of pushed to the front of the stage, I guess, within the Roadrunners organization. Uh, so yeah, it's a fun story, a lot of character growth, on, from all angles, I suppose. So yeah, it's definitely one of the more fun times I've had writing a book. But I think the book I'm writing right now is giving it a run here. So yeah, that is all I can really touch on today as far as Keeper of Time scenes go. Obviously, if you've read the book, if you want to discuss things maybe offline, feel free to shoot me an email, shoot me a message. I can always answer any questions you have on specific scenes, things like that. So yeah, don't be shy. Shoot me a message. It's usually men physically and women mentally. Um, hmm, that's an interesting perspective. I guess I've never really deep dived into the dynamics of divide and conquer, but that's a good point, I suppose. Obviously, if you look through history, it's always men in power, at least ancient times up until recently. So yeah, it's always, I don't know, it's always wars, always hate, always rage. So yeah, that's an interesting perspective, though. I'll have to look into how women have factored into divide and conquer. I'm sure there's plenty of story there, and I don't know, maybe that's something I can play around with too in my next series, which will be a spin-off of the Wealth of Time series with a female lead role. So yeah, be definitely I'm sure there's plenty of research I have to be starting now, to prepare for that series in general. So yeah, wish me luck. Good thing I have a wife and two daughters. So yeah, that should help. Question from Marilyn. When you wrote about the future in book three, did you think about what was happening now with the current occupant in the White House? Yes, I did. Um, I'm glad a few people have emailed me. Some fans have emailed me. It's funny, I see that question here in the chat tonight. But yeah, I mean, it's not so much about the current president, per se, but rather just the culture we find ourselves in right now. So if you've read Bad Faith, you'll know it takes place in the year 2064, in America, in Denver, and it's just very, I don't know what's the way to put it, elitist. There's the ultra rich and there's the ultra poor, and there's really no in between. And it just kind of seems, if you're keeping up with culture, economics, just the way things are working now in our country, it kind of seems that's the way things are headed. There's just this growing divide, the weeding out of the middle class. There's no in between. You're either on one end of the spectrum. So that's more the ideas I was playing with in Bad Faith, and how that affects everything from government just to the world the people are living in and how they handle that. So yeah, again, that kind of plays to the divide and conquer as well, just furthering that divide, separating people into two halves, and then kind of conquer who you will at that point. So yeah, so good question, Marilyn. Good catch, I should say. So yeah, there's a lot of themes I just sort of took from today's age and just imagined if things stayed as they were and keep progressing as they are, what would the world look like in 2064? Obviously, I don't think that's how the world will end up. I like to think we're turning the ship around. We can always improve things. So yeah, we'll see. So cheers to the future, I suppose. Yeah. Ah, female influence for female leads. That's the way to do it. I agree. And it also helps, pretty much all of my author friends are all women. So I'm sure I'll be leaning on them as well. And then also we'll be reading some books as well. I want to read books written by men with female leads, just to kind of get a feel. Because obviously there's just that different perspective when it's being written by a man. How are they interpreting the women? So I have some. I want to read. I'm going to read a whole series by Mark Dawson. He has a series. He has two series actually with female leads, that have sold gazillion copies. So I'm sure he's doing something right. So he's kind of going to be my North Star, my reference point for that as well. But yeah, Well, Marilyn, I didn't mean to give you anxiety about the future. That's not my intent. Maybe, I suppose, just to open our eyes a bit. You know, do what you can to kind of right the ship here and get us back on track. My women rule. Yes, thank you. I don't know if you mean my characters or the women in my life, but I'll take that as both. They both rule. So thank you for that. Um, so yeah, if you guys have any other questions, comments, definitely drop them at this point. I'm going to start wrapping up with my kind of closing remarks, closing reminders, as I always do. So again, next week I'll be discussing the settings used within Keeper of Time, how those play into the story, and then that's our last Tuesday of November. So then December will bring Snowball, which I hope you guys are ready. It's not, I mean, it's a Christmas book, but it's not really in the holiday spirit, if you know what I mean. But if you're in this group, you should already be down for that anyway. So I do look forward to our discussion on Snowball in a couple weeks to get started with my little elf on my shoulder. So yeah, just final reminder then, guys, drop those comments here, whether you're watching live now or on the replay. Those all add up for points. So do stay engaged. I'm actually working on kind of, I guess, a revamp of sorts for my social media. I'm definitely looking to get more engaged, both on Instagram and here in the Facebook group. So yeah, just keep an eye out for more posts coming down the road, and keep in mind when you interact with those posts as well. It's not just these videos. It all adds up for the monthly contest, so you can win some free books, some Amazon gift cards, and I don't know. Natasha's wanting to get new prizes and things for 2021. But we have to discuss those. There's a budget to consider. I don't know what she's thinking. She's very ambitious like myself. So we'll see what happens. She just sits there grinning at me. We'll have to get her on here for one of these weeks during Snowball. It's her absolute favorite book of mine. So I'd love for you guys to hear her perspective of Snowball. So yeah, so yeah, that's kind of what's going on. So I will say cheers to you guys. Wish you a good night, a happy Tuesday. Stay safe out there. Things are getting dangerous again, it seems. So yeah, stay safe, stay healthy. Um, yeah, I almost said happy Thanksgiving, but I tell you, I don't know what day it is, especially during Nano. My brain is just mush. So I will not say happy Thanksgiving yet. I will save that for next Tuesday. So until then, happy Tuesday. I will say that. Cheers. I will see you guys back next week.